with the testimony if you guys missed it, but I'm here to talk about the things that's going on in America today and how we have to watch so we know how to pray. You guys are familiar with that we should watch and pray. How will you know what to pray if you're not watching and paying attention? I always say fast forward through the replay. I always say if you're watching the replay, you can fast forward to the meat of the content and you do not have to wait until I actually get started. But I want to talk about some things that's going on. Again, you can fast forward and you do not have to wait through all of this. You can just get to the meat of the content. I'm going to give everybody a chance to jump on. Like I stated, I was here earlier. I'm back today. I'm back to night. I was here earlier and I gave a testimony, but I want to highlight and talk about some things that's going on here in America. When you come on, say hello to me. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to get on, but I want to talk about the things that's going on in America. We all watch the news and kind of pay attention to the news, but we don't get a chance to kind of like collaborate and converse as far as, you know, sharing ideas. And our thoughts, not ideas, but our thoughts as to what's going on. We have a lot that's going on. It's like unbelievable. We have a lot that's going on. I'm going to give everybody a chance to, I'm going to give people a chance to jump on. I know it's kind of late in the evening and people are probably, you know, kind of settling in. But hopefully we have some people that'll come on and be able to share in what it is that we're going to talk about. I want to talk about what's going on in America. We have a lot that's going on in America. And I'm not sure if many of you are aware as to what took place on yesterday. It was a lot that took place, but I wanted to highlight some things that took place as I looked and I kind of reflected because I wasn't able to catch a lot of it that took place on yesterday in real time as far as live, but I was able to catch it later. And so I'm like, I'm really in disbelief, you know, kind of as to what happened. Director Todd Lyons, and it's like, I don't know if you guys saw what happened. News conference there, but it's like from Kristi Noem on her once fellow governor. It was unbelievable. The first hat he puts on when he gets up in the morning is the just like crazy. And then he decides what's best for the people of Los Angeles. So it just shows you the tensions that are involved here in the standoff between the federal government and local authorities, Sandra.
And more representation of the tensions was the moment when a U.S. senator barged into the room.
Look at this, listen.
Here was bits and pieces of what he said, but we know that he was eventually detained. The idea that he was arrested, I guess, is being changed now to the language temporarily detained.
Look at this.
This is the moment Senator Padilla.
Because the fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
This is America. This is America.
So what I can tell you there is that we had a producer right outside the room who witnessed that all go down, saying he was shoved to the floor. He was cuffed by the FBI there. This is Senator saying he was shoved to the floor. He was cuffed by the FBI there.
And so, what are your thoughts on this? This is a senator.
All right, so what I can tell you there is that we had a producer right outside the room who witnessed that all go down, saying he was shoved to the floor.
So here's the deal. I am not saying that anybody's right or anybody's wrong. But what are your thoughts on what happened? Like, this is America, and this is something that happened to a senator.
Was cuffed by the FBI there. This is Senator
They
Padilla.
first
But
said he was
John speaks to
arrested,
the
then they
escalating
said he was
tensions there.
detained.
Apparently, he was at the congressional baseball game last night. He pulled out early to go back to California, where obviously he made it because we saw him there. The governor is responding already to that scene, John. Governor Newsom has posted this. Senator Padilla is one of the most decent people I know. This is outrageous, he says, and shameful. Trump and his shock troops, he writes, are out of control. This must end now. So that happened.
Yeah, not quite sure the point that he
So
was making.
for those of you who saw, who was able to actually take time to look at this video, okay? To look at that video. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about what happened? Do you feel like that this was right? Do you feel like that they were too aggressive? Do you feel like it could have been handled a certain way? Do you feel like the senator should have addressed whatever comments or concerns he had in a different way? Like, what are your thoughts? When I saw this, of course, I had to watch it a couple of times because I was like, really like not understanding what was going on. What are your thoughts about what has transpired with this particular incident? How many of you saw this? How many people saw actually what happened? Or if this is your first time seeing it, how many people actually saw where the senator was? They're saying detained now, but originally they said arrested. So what are your thoughts on this? I'm sure you saw this by now, most of you. And if you haven't saw it, I'm sure that somebody has discussed
What I
it.
can tell you there is that we had a producer
So,
right outside
what
the
are your
room,
thoughts on
who
this?
witnessed that all go down, saying he was shoved to the floor. He
Like, what are your
was
thoughts on the
cuffed by
senator
the
being
FBI,
detained?
there. This is
And of
Senator
course,
Padilla.
you know, our
Judge
California
speaks to the escalating
governor,
tensions there.
he
Apparently,
spoke
was
out
at the
against
congressional
this
baseball game last
as
night.
to
He
what happened.
pulled out
But
early
what are
to
your
go
thoughts
back to
on this?
California, where obviously he made it because we saw him there. The governor is responding.
What are your thoughts
already
on
to
this?
that
Do you
scene,
have
John.
any thoughts on here?
Governor
I
Newsom
have
has
people
posted
on
that
here, but
Senator
nobody's
Padilla.
commenting. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? I'm not able to see the comments. I know people are commenting, but I'm not able to see the comments, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I can't see the comments. And I don't want to have to close out, but I may have to and come back because I can't see the comments on here, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I can't see the comments. If somebody can say something for me, so I can see if I'm having technical issues on my end so I can close out and come back in. Can somebody say something for me so I can determine whether or not it's on my end? Because I can't see any comments. I may have to close out and come back. Again, I wanted to talk about the things that are happening here in America, and I was highlighting this particular incident, and there were about 5 different things that I was going to share. Okay, somebody said hello to me. Patricia said hello. I remember from earlier, I think, Patricia, you said you were from California. So this is your state that I'm speaking of on today. Were you aware of what happened with the senator and his arrest? Of course, we're just all kind of watching it in the news, and it happened, I think, yesterday. And so, like, everybody's looking at this news clip, and we're like, you know, just like, wow, you know, can't believe, you know, kind of in disbelief that this happened. And it's just so much that's going on currently. That's just one of the things that took place on yesterday. And so I was just like, I wanted to hear other people's viewpoints, because sometimes we can kind of like be a little biased and see things in one perspective, and then somebody else may come and share something, and then you kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I just kind of wanted to know how everybody was feeling about that. It is. I was aware it was all over the news yesterday. It was. And so I'm not like, it's so disheartening because it's division. You know, when I look at this, all I see is division, and we just have like so much that's going on. And so that's just one of the things that kind of took
One of the most
place,
decent people I know. This is outrageous.
you know,
He says it's
yesterday
shameful. Trump
on the
has
news.
shocked troops he writes
Now,
are out of control. This must end now.
this
So
is
that
the
happened.
this is the
Yeah, I'm not
other
quite sure the
thing.
point that
Let
he
me
was
take let
making
me
there,
let me
but,
do this.
Christy Dunn was up at the podium along
Because
with
I
the
wanted
acting
to share
instructor,
something else with
the
you
U.S.
guys
attorney.
as well. Now, this was the other thing that kind of, well, not kind of,
But first
that was
say
so
that
alarming.
peaceful protests are part of our democracy.
Now, this one
We
kind of
invite
shook
people
me a
to share
little
their
bit
opinions. That's what our
because I
country
was
is
like,
all
he's
about.
sending a
The
strong
key word in
message.
that is peaceful. And if it's peaceful, us in law enforcement are going to make sure you have a safe environment to do it in. That's part of that process. If you let it turn violent, whoo, you do not want to do that in Brevard County.
See-
I'm going to tell you that, and I believe I can speak for my fellow sheriffs around the rest of the state. You don't want to let it happen. And just so there's no confusion, because I don't want to hear any whining later saying we didn't know, I'm gonna break it down for you.
He
all right?
he
Because
really
as you
laid
watch
it
these
down.
riots unfold across the rest of the country, what you are seeing is buildings being burned down, police cars being bricked, having explosive devices thrown on them, having fire.
Is that
guns
happening
pointed at 'em,
in
bricks thrown at 'em,
California,
all
Patricia,
in
to
all.
your knowledge?
So I'm gonna break it down
Because
for you,
they're saying
all
that
right?
the protest
And
is
if somebody
peaceful
wants
there.
to know what I mean by turn violent,
And
all right?
and here,
This is what I mean.
listen to what he
If you
says.
resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over
Oh, wow.
and dragged across the street.
Oh, wow.
If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at,
Wow.
because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Wow.
We're not going to play.
Did you guys hear that?
If you don't want to have any of those things happen to you, obey the law. Go protest all you want. Do it peacefully. Stand on the mountaintops and yell your opinion, your views. We invite that. But don't you dare break the law, because it won't go well for you. All right, Jim? Thank you, sir.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Did you guys hear what he said? Like, what do you guys think about that? So, is he not sending a strong message to the people that would come out and protest? Is he not sending a strong message? Again, Wilton said, great message, don't break the law. They said, I agree. Mad said, nothing, I'm in Canada. Yes, ma'am, keeping it real. Just don't break the law, protest peacefully. Well, don't break the law, they stand their ground. Beef Log said, can you shout me out? So here's what I want to ask. I want to ask this. Okay, this is a county that's in Florida, right? So it appears as if he's trying to get ahead of what's happening in California. But here's where I have a question that I want you guys' feedback on. The governor of California is saying that everything was peaceful and is peaceful. The president of the United States, Trump, is saying it wasn't and it is not peaceful. That's why he deployed the troops. So with this governor coming forth and saying what he's saying, and that what he's not going to tolerate, why would he come so aggressively to put this in place if California was having a peaceful protest? Can somebody help me with that? And once again, I only know what the news is reporting. I don't know if it's a peaceful protest in California or not. I can only go by what the news is reporting. But I know that this man who's speaking, who I just showed this video of, he's very adamant about aggressively proving to the people who protest, if they do not do it peacefully, how he's going to react. Okay? I saw the videos of the fires and violence, Brittany said. RGER says peacefully. Because, just because the videos, hello from, what is that, Valrico, I may be pronouncing that wrong, Florida. We have seen live videos of the violence going on in LA News and Live. Let me ask you this, Tom Heyman. Are you in this area that this particular, I don't know if it's the chief or who it is that's speaking. Are you in that area? Little man syndrome, that's what it is. California doesn't have peaceful protests. Okay. Looting and destruction of property. So, Eric, is that what's going on in California, or are you just speaking in general? They were burning stuff. Okay, so Mike, 1, 2, 3. Were they burning things in California? Oh, you mean consequences. Yes, it looks like he's speaking to what the consequences are going to be. I can only go by what the news is saying. Thanks. This is the bulk of the problem. Shaking my head. Florida is not playing. That's what everybody is talking about. Everybody is talking about the statement that Florida is making. We haven't had anybody, to my knowledge, somebody correct me, fact check me, because I could be wrong, okay? But from what I'm hearing, Florida has come with the most aggressive consequence if you do not peacefully protest. Am I right on that? Am I right on that? Others are just speaking out, but they are really speaking aggressively. Yes, they were burning things, dumpsters and fires. So it wasn't under control then. Good and bad protesters. Yes, we're always going to have good and bad protesters. Good on Florida. Florida man says it all. No, ma'am, I am in Hillsborough County. It's pronounced Varico. Okay, thank you. Good for governor. Nope, it's fair. Correct, you're right. You can't go out into the streets and crash out. Texas governor says. So Texas governor is pretty much saying the same thing. California, they can't do that because we got too much people, not enough cops. Okay, so you're saying that California, and I'm just trying to understand, okay? So you guys don't tear me up in the comments. California, they can't do that because we got too many people, not enough cops. Okay, now you made that statement, right? So if it's not enough of cops, would you agree or disagree that they needed troops? If you have more people than cops, would you or would you not need the troops to help keep things peaceful? Exactly, but I think these are measures of deterrence, even though adults shouldn't have to be told to behave. True. Every state needs to follow what Florida is doing. You think so, Donnie? There are 47 states that are protesting now. You guys, I'm in the state of Louisiana, and to my knowledge, there isn't any protesting. And if it is, I'm not aware of it. And it has not been covered by the local news. So if there is some protesting, it hasn't been covered here by the local news. I promise you guys, it's a lot going on in the news, but this is one of the top topics right now with the words that came out of this man's mouth. I promise you it is. Like, everybody's in awe of what he has said. King's March tomorrow, a huge protest going on tomorrow, Saturday. Yes, you are right, so I would not try it. Is that South Carolina pretty much the same? SW says deport them all. And then somebody is saying ice, ice. They needed the troop. They called me, Graham said they needed the troops. I'm hearing more people that are saying they needed the troops than I'm hearing they did not. Okay? I have heard more of that the troops were needed. Remember, the president of the United States, Trump, stated that they were needed. The governor of California said they were not, okay? So, but I've heard more people say that they were needed. Marines had to come down to control it, but it's not needed because it started the chaos. Cal says West Florida, agree, yes, they needed the troops. Mexico has the same standards as Florida. Oh, they do? Hello, host. Hello to you, Bruce. You are seeking a logical answer from those whom have not derived their point from logic. Well, it's a matter of opinion. That's the beauty of being in the United States. And here's the deal. Let me just pause to your statement. That's why people are protesting, and that's why it's so much a disturbance of people not wanting to leave. They don't want to leave because of the opportunities they have here and that they don't have in their home, and the beauty of being in America. And that's the reason why I'm on, because it's like I want to hear from my fellow people, you know, what their thoughts are and how they feel. Of course, I have my opinion of, you know, how I view what's going on and what he just said. So that's why I'm here, because I want to hear the opinions of others. That's the beauty of being unique. I do appreciate your feedback. I really do. It's opinions. In America, we have the right to protest. Yes, we do. Tom says, yes, they need the troops. Same in many places what you said. Eve says, Saturday, tomorrow, protesting peacefully, a huge crowd. King's protest against Trump and his administration. So where is this protest going to take place? So you're saying that there's going to be a big protest tomorrow, and it's against Trump and his administration. What state is that? My family's in Florida. The sheriffs don't play. I'm not in all. Okay, Ronnie says not in all. People, please be safe, Eve said. Eve, I agree with you. People do need to be safe, because we have people on here who may protest or may have family who's protesting. I totally agree with you. We're in agreement with that. I pray that people who plan to protest are using all safety that's possible, because sometimes people can get hurt, and that's not the intentions of the other person, kind of just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So be careful. I agree. Thank you for that input. No protest in my area in New Jersey. Okay, none in mine as well, Louisiana, as I stated. The Marines' presence did not make it worse. No, they didn't. Trump's a known liar. This sheriff is a lot like Sheriff Grady. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that's somebody in Florida's county, Polk County. He protests the people to the fullest. The troops started because of ICE starting crap in Cali. More people talking don't mean anything. The governor makes the calls. Well, here's the deal, Blend and Bloom. Did you see where we're actually in court now with this, and it's kind of like a back and forth as far as whether or not the governor is right or if Trump is right, because the governor took Trump to court. And so we're waiting on the final outcome of that, which again is, I call it division and confusion. Mexico has not been in a war in 177 years, 1848. 177 years ago of peace. Nice generation, 9 generations. Believe me, we don't need those standards. Great information. Thank you for sharing. Don't go to Florida then. Simply stay in Louisiana. Okay, son of a gun, I'll follow your advice. I'll stay in Louisiana and not go to Florida. Thank you. Donnie, yep. And it's not aggression. They mean it. And I back that, Sheriff, 1000%. It's stupid to get mad and go and tear your own stuff up. They were needed. And Newsom is a lion. He's lying. And it's just so much a back and forth with that. You know, I'm going to say this again, and I know plenty of people have commented, but I'm not being redundant just to be redundant. I'm just trying to make good sense of, if everything was under control, why was the troops sent out? Now, Governor Newsom gives his viewpoints as to that he feels like Trump did it to inflame things. And Trump says he did it to help for the safety of California. But here's where I'm concerned, and it has me on the fence. This guy right here, if you need me to play the video, just tell me and I'll play it again. But most of you have already heard it. Why would this guy be so aggressive with what he's going to do if things were peaceful in Cali? Like, if everything was peaceful in Cali with the protesting, then I'm pointing to him, he would not have to be aggressive. And that's just my logic. I'm trying to sort through this and not just solely depend upon watching the news, but use context clues to kind of figure out what's really going on. So it's like that's it for me. I'm just like, Vito, I agree. God first. Let me go up. Let me see what. There was a protest in my city I didn't attend, is what Patricia said. The protest was just people waving the Mexican flag and being disrespectful to the authorities. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. The protest was just people waving the Mexican flag and being disrespectful to authorities. Why would we wave a Mexican flag? Wow. And I mean, okay. So that's interesting. That's interesting. There are some in Texas tomorrow. What part of Texas? Okay, because of Abbott, they'll be peaceful. I see it. Austin and San Antonio settled down there really fast. Okay. You have a right to protest. What are you? Protesting the illegals have been broken. The law of the land is the right way to come here in the wrong way, regardless. Pay taxes or not. You're not a citizen. Vito, I agree, God first. ICE came, city of a fight. Back then, troops came. It was too planned. Now, I'm hearing that as well, where people are saying it's planned. Colombia has problems with Venezuelans crossing borders for years. But here's the deal. We're not going to have that issue anymore, right? Because of what is put in place. Am I correct? So that's been taken care of, right? Cali set the tone. Well, Cali always kind of sets the tone for, like, different things, right? He's not being aggressive. People obviously think assaulting officers isn't against the law, and he's letting them know. Oh, he's really letting them know, because he's saying that they're going to be dead. So, like, he's serious. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Call me a coward or whatever you want. I wouldn't protest out there, even a peaceful protest, because they're going to be on them. They may want to stay home. If someone's going to attack me and I defend myself, am I setting the tone, or am I attacker setting the tone? Okay. It's the police. Things can be calm and they'll still escalate for no reason. I agree with that. Florida also doesn't play around with its residents. Brevoort Polk and Miami-Dade specifically, and I may have pronounced that wrong, forgive me. I got one, didn't care for Elon Musk, but he says a lot if bad people are telling Trump what to do, and sadly he listens to them. So Eve, do you think the things that Trump does, okay, he's listening to other people, or is he kind of making the decisions? Just curious based on that comment that you just made. Burn our flag automatic, 1 year in jail. So David, are there instances of them burning our flag? I hope it's not, because I think that that's disrespectful. The flag is supposed to and should mean a lot to the people who are citizens here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for me, because I'll reach a number where others will not be able to get in, because it'll tell me that I do not have enough of subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for me. I would really appreciate it. Just a click of a button is all that it takes. And I appreciate you guys coming on, because when I come and I read these comments about what's going on in the news, it actually helps me to see and understand from a different viewpoint. And I really have a lot of people who come on and know the law and able to provide information. And so that kind of helps me and others as well. So I'm not the only one that this is helping. For all of you complaining about the Mexican flag, one, First Amendment, freedom of expression. And yes, that includes burning an American flag that protected under freedom of expression. Okay, I understand that, but here's my question, Daniel, and I'm just asking. Is it not considered like disrespectful for anybody to burn the American flag, even if they're a citizen? Because it's like, wouldn't that be saying something about our country to burn the flag? And somebody says burning the flag, I agree, is freedom of speech. They are burning flags and flying foreign flags. So I have two people that say that that's considered a freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I get that. But it's like, what will be the purpose of burning a flag? Like, what are we gaining from, burning a flag? How many people think that that's disrespectful? I understand. Okay, I get it. Freedom of speech, expression. I get that part. But what do we solve by burning the American flag? And what are you losing by burning a piece of cloth? Nothing. Why stay in the country they hate? Okay, she keeps skipping mine, but what I was trying to say was we are wasting cops and military and police that should be deported. Let me read that again. She keeps skipping mine, but what I was trying to say was we are wasting cops and military and police that should be deported. Okay. Can you burn Trump flag? Weird flex. It is disrespectful, but nothing. It is disrespectful, but not everything disrespectful is illegal, and there is a distinction. Okay, appreciate that. Isn't burning the flag illegal? They're saying, from what I'm understanding, it's a freedom of speech. That's the reason why I'm on, because like I told you guys, I get other people's viewpoints, and I like the feedback, because I'm being told that that's a freedom of expression and that they can do that. And then other people are asking, is that illegal? No one has freedom of speech against a country that lives in this country. No one has freedom of speech against this country that lives in this country. It's very disrespectful, but it does not express a point of view. Other countries don't play around with that kind of behavior. Eric Thompson, so glad you made that statement. Okay, Here's why I'm glad you made that statement. One of the things that I have been talking to a couple of close friends of mine is this. I have been asking them, with a lot of things that we are tolerating, are other countries doing the same? Can we go to other countries and behave a certain way? It's almost like we are like it makes no sense. So like for you to say that our other countries don't play around with that kind of behavior, they don't. I don't believe they were trying to intimidate or provoke. Those sheriffs were just giving fair warning and a reminder that if the protest crosses the line, they will take action. Florida isn't LA. Okay, Anthony. I can agree with that. In other words, they're setting the tone for what the consequences are. So nobody is protesting and don't understand. We've already set the rules out. It's like playing the game. You know, we're not going to make up the game rules as we go. Here's what the rules are ahead of time. So I get that. What is a Trump flag? I don't know what a Trump flag is. Somebody put that in there. I don't know what that is. I was wondering the same thing. If you don't like it here, then leave. Well, anybody who's here and they don't like it, I would assume that they should just leave. You shouldn't be anywhere that you don't want to be. Hey, James, is that why you think it's cool to go to other states and tell other states how they should live? I'm not sure what that's about. The Confederate flag, probably. XD. Yes, it's illegal. So I'm gonna have to Google that. So it's illegal to burn the flag. Or are we clear on that? Like that has come up a couple of times. It's illegal. I think we're all excited as taxpayers to repair all the damage. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Like all freedom of speech, you can speak freely, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences. You can be a racist, but if your boss finds out, you can lose your job. That's a great point, Jay. That's a great point. Oh, hello, Patricia. Thank you for that. You said that I'm close to 1K. Thank you. I didn't even realize it. So, y'all, please subscribe. Thank you, Patricia. That was sweet of you to notice that. So you guys, please subscribe for me. I would really appreciate if you can help me to get to that number because she just pointed that out for me and I didn't even realize it. Thank you, Patricia. That was so kind of you. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. It would mean so much to me. Thomas Jefferson says that, wait, I lost my space. James, how is that supposed to work? I'm a citizen, but really don't like this country. I can't leave anywhere. This is the only country I can live in until I get my citizenship in another. Y'all let me find my glasses really quick because I was squinting and I need my glasses. So, James, how is it that's supposed to work? I'm a citizen, but really don't like this country. Let's pause right there. I'm a citizen, but really don't like this country. I can't leave anywhere. This is the only country I can live in until I get my citizenship in another. My heart goes out to you. I don't know you personally, Black Steel Blades, that you don't like it here. My heart goes out to you. I pray that the Lord works something out for you as far as another country is concerned. Again, my heart goes out to you that, you know, you don't like it here. I hope something works out for you where you can kind of get to where, you know, you would feel comfortable and feel at home. And I sincerely mean that because life is short and nobody should be living or be somewhere that they don't want to be. I can barely get my words out because my heart goes out to you, and I sincerely mean that. Angel says the Confederate flag, people. You're also adorable. Yeah, Korean don't play. D Hyatt say that they subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Please read the First Amendment, please. I will. I will. I have to glance at it. I will. And so I'm assuming that you're saying to please read the First Amendment because all of the comments and everything that's coming forth, I need to go back and refresh. Okay? I can accept that. Black Steel, you can get a visa. So Black Steel, somebody's giving you information that you can get a visa. Thank you, Patricia. She says that I have the subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for letting me know. And I want to thank everybody on here who subscribed, because here's the deal. You did not have to subscribe just because I asked you to. You have a right to be where you want to be and subscribe if you want to or not. So the fact that you did, it is appreciated. I promise it is. It is not freedom of speech to burn a flag. It's an action. It is disrespectful to those that have served our country who protect our rights. Hence, the land of the free. All right, Tyra. I couldn't put a match to the flag, but I can't speak for anybody else. I couldn't do it, okay? Because I never knew applying the law as a tyranny. Love this guy. People don't understand the current law. Son of a gun, you're absolutely right. The law changes all the time, and I try to keep up with certain things, but guess what? Some things I'm outdated on, and I have people to inform me otherwise. And when I'm informed, I'm educated and I know. But I don't think nobody knows everything. And so you're right. People don't understand the current law. I have to agree with you. And in some cases, I'm guilty of that. I have to refresh and make notice of what's going on. So, you know, I don't make any mistakes without knowing. So I appreciate that. Black Steel Blaze, not unless you have money, it's a specific skill set and know the language. That's the only real way to get a visa, especially a citizen visa. I would also need to get a passport. Okay, so it sounds like Black Steel Blaze have tried some different things, but haven't had any success. Now that's a lazy mindset. Cop out, love America or get out. Is ignorant. Okay. I miss the U.S. a lot. You really appreciate U.S. and the freedom to move about. Anthony, where are you? I miss the U.S. a lot. And you really appreciate the U.S. Where are you, Anthony, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to give us the city, but what country are you in? Michael Evans, it is not illegal. No, it's not illegal. We couldn't take a knee. Because it's not applying the law to trample onto people in a group of 4 on horses or shooting reporters who are trying to cover a story. Okay. Here, I thought the consequences are you appear before a judge sentencing. All that judge, you know, due process. But if a police says they're going to kill, there's no due process in that. Okay, it looks like somebody else is giving us some law again. But it should be, I think. You can't even have another flag in Mexico. That is not the Mexico. Oh, wow. Are you for real? You can't even have another flag in Mexico that is not the Mexican flag. I didn't know that. It is not illegal to burn a flag. I don't like it, but you can burn the flag. Okay, Michael, thank you. So, Michael, you're kind of on the side of what I'm saying. I couldn't burn it either. I just couldn't. So, you're saying it's not illegal, but you couldn't do it. Right. I wouldn't do it either. It is legal to protest peacefully. Okay, we know that, right? So, that's kind of a given. We can protest peacefully. I think the main question here is people burning the flag, and it's viewed as disrespectful. Okay, thank you, Patricia. Yes, it did. It hit 1,000. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for letting me know that and paying attention to that for me. That again, that was so kind of you because I wasn't aware that I was that close. Nope, it is not illegal. Look at the Supreme Court. Your boss can't fire you for your beliefs, like racist beliefs, unless you act on it. Okay, that makes sense. First time here, congrats to your channel. Thank you, Eve. I appreciate it. Leave the United States if difficult because you have to pay 10 years of taxes all at once, and that's future projected taxes. Is that law? I didn't know that either. But in Colombia, there is none of that woke crap. What's the woke crap, Anthony? What's woke crap? These people were protesting peacefully. Then they were attacked by, I'm assuming you was trying to say you got P. Was that police? Peacefully protesting. Unfortunately, it is not illegal to burn the flag. So that's a given. I think we all get that. So we all can leave here with knowing, okay, that it's not illegal to burn the flag. For Joe Black, he says, hey, baby, I love Trump. Here's the deal. I love Trump, too. I love Biden. I love Obama. I love Ronald Reagan. Every president that has come forth, I have had love for them. And here's why. I am not crazy. That is the president of the United States of America, where I live. And I need to make certain that they're doing what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So I make certain that I pray for every person that is in office because I know that their actions directly affect me. It doesn't matter if I voted for them or I didn't vote it. Immediately when they get in office, I make certain, okay, that I say a prayer. Can't speak for anybody else because what they do is going to directly affect me. So I am with you. I love Trump and any other president that's going to head the United States, okay? That's where I'm at. So regardless who gets into office, I love them as well. So thank you for saying that. She says deport all of them. You think I am, Casey? Now here's the deal, Casey. I love when people, I'm not going to just read the comments that, you know, and skip over certain ones. Of course, they're going fast, but the host is ill-informed about presidents and their actions. So here's the deal, Casey. Maybe you just got on and you didn't hear me say this. I said, and I'll reiterate, okay, I'm here where we are giving feedback and that I was learning as we go and that I have my opinions of things, right? But that I was learning and others would learn as well from people feedback. So I said that, and I'm sure that others can be a witness that I did say that. But I appreciate your comment. So you didn't say anything that I hadn't already spoken to, okay? But I appreciate your feedback. We are forever learners. I learned that a long time ago. We are forever learners. Anybody who claims to know everything and can always say, oh, well, I knew that. Oh, I knew that. I knew that. Oh, I've been learned that. No, it's okay to say I did not know or I did not understand. It keeps us humble. We're humans, okay? Imperfect people with flaws. Why do I love Trump? Because he's a human and he heads the country. And so we're supposed to have love in our heart for everybody. So that's the reason why. I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody. Okay? So I don't have any hate. King James says, Miss Nikki, I like you. I like you and everybody else as well. But I just want to reiterate to people who says that he does not love you. It's okay. We don't know if that's true, but let's say that that's true. It doesn't matter. I'm not held accountable for how people treat me. I'm held accountable for how I treat them. Okay? Let me get back to the comments. Does it matter the skin color of the person who burns a flag? It just jumped really quick on me as I was reading that. I'm sorry, y'all. Does it matter the skin color of the person who burns a flag because we're all human? It doesn't matter. I don't think any person should burn the flag regardless as to the color, but that's my opinion. And I'm speaking from me. I would not burn the flag. That's just me. But hey, let's say somebody else burned the flag and I saw them burning the flag, or they told me that they burned the flag. Well, I can't say anything to them for what they did. That's how they felt, for whatever the reason may be. We love Trump because he's doing what has needed to be done for decades, and that's by RD. Black Steel, if you want to smoke, deport them all. I love how the strong attacks the weak because the weak feel like they have to prove themselves while the strong just live. Well, here's the deal. This is the way life works, and nobody want to actually have this conversation and talk about this. We have so many people who aren't able to be open and be real. When you're open and you're real, you're criticized and people talk about you. So we are taught, and it's embedded in us at a very early age, to kind of respond to people the way that they want you to respond, so you're accepted. We have a small group of people who readily respond the way that they want to. It's the same instance of this person who was on here and said that I need to go and learn about, the president, so forth and so on. You guys remember the comment. And I didn't take offense, and it's okay that they said that, but they didn't hear where I readily admitted there are things that I don't know. And so a lot of people are just used to dealing with people who aren't open and real. So that's what we have. This is like, it's crazy. I love how the strong attract the weak because the weak feel like they have to prove themselves while the strong just live. Okay, what a great comment. Okay, because that's the deal, and that's the truth. The strong people feel like they don't have anything to prove. The weak person is always trying to prove, okay, that they have it together and that everything is great. So I appreciate that comment, but that's the world that we live in. Did you hear the grandchildren of MLK said our loving grandfather would march with you all because he marched too? He was a proud man and loving match to protest. No, I didn't hear that. It does matter when you lead a country. What are you referring to, Denise? Maybe I missed something. Deport them all. I'm not sure. Is it Alicia? I may be pronouncing that wrong, but I think you said that a few times about deport them all. I know you're not a vet now. My family is full of vets from World War II, Korean. I myself am going into the Army also. I'm from Texas, so I hope you have guns. Why are you saying that you hope that we have guns? Is something going to happen out of the ordinary? I feel like most people probably have guns for protection, but I'm just wondering why you pointed that out, because I believe that most people probably carry guns for protection. Nothing to do with the protest, but just for safety. RD says, yes, stuff is going to happen. No kings in America. Keep our American laws right. Do you think that the president should care about the least of them? Denise, I feel like the president is the president, and he has taken an oath and he's serving to help every persons. It should not just be for the least. Everyone. When you're in any capacity of leadership, you're supposed to care about everyone. That's my opinion, okay? Trump's birthday is tomorrow. Is it? Well, I heard that it was approaching, but I didn't exactly remember when it was. So I do have a question for you guys, if you don't mind giving me some feedback. How do we feel about the people being deported in the way that it is being stated that they're being deported? Now, again, we're just all watching the news. And so we have people who are saying that, you know, ICE is not taking the correct approach to deport them. So how many people feel like they are with the president with deporting them as long as it's done the right way? And here's why I'm saying that. We have so many people who have businesses. Black man says, I'm with the president. Would you feel better if they gave them a cuddle and a soft toy? Caroline, if I'm pronouncing your name right, I wouldn't feel either way. I'm just simply asking, and I'm here getting the opinions of other people. Just because you have a green card doesn't mean you're entitled to stay here. People say he wanted a parade of military because he saw one in France. Did he? I didn't know that. So I personally think it's disgusting. I think deportation should be done in a civil way with due. Otherwise, don't do it. 47 standing on business. Okay. It's not right to pull people off the street and not give them a chance in court. So, Kevin, you say it's not right to pull people off the street and not give them a chance in court. So, let me ask this, Kevin. To my knowledge, okay, I was under the impression, and I can be wrong, that's why I'm here asking. I thought these were people who were being deported who did not have their paperwork correct. Like, the paperwork was not right. And because they didn't take care of their paperwork, they're here illegally, and the president is saying that they needed to be deported. Am I correct, you guys? You help me out. Due process is a constitutional law. You don't get due process as a non-citizen who is here illegally. Okay. So if they're here illegally, then it's like I didn't think they had a right, and that's the reason why he was deporting them. I didn't think he was deporting people who had a right to be here. So Productions is helping me host. My co-host has suggested a better stated question is, how many people support borders? If not a supporter, why do you not go and protest all the countries who protest their borders from illegal immigration? Productions, thank you for co-hosting with me. Highly appreciated. Love you. Did you subscribe yet? Did you subscribe? Let me know if you subscribe. Alice says, yes, it is. RD, enforcing laws make you a king. Okay. Support on the deportation, no paperwork, they have to go. That is the process. So here's my question. I have another question. Thank you. You subscribe. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Anybody who has not subscribed, who's here with us, subscribe for me. I would really appreciate it. If you're not born here, you don't belong here. Fight for your right in your own country. How many people feel like America has changed and is changing within the last couple of months? How many people feel like America does not look the same, like we have a different face? This is my opinion, okay? I feel like America is not the same. I feel like America has a different face, okay? America's face, okay, doesn't look the same to me. The feel of being in America doesn't feel the same. It's almost like it's indescribable. I don't have an adjective to put with it. But that's how I feel. And that's my opinion, okay? I'm not pushing my opinion on anybody else, but I just want to know how you guys feel. That's how I feel. The change happened in 2020. Yes, it has changed very much. In my opinion, it's for the worse. Anyone who knows American history knows way worse has happened in this country. Well, Warriors Rage. Yes, far worse has happened. But my question was just simply, it's a different field change. Again, I don't have the words or a word to kind of describe it, but it's a different feel to the to home. Okay. If you're a legal American, you're fine. I just wanted everybody to be safe. I'm scared of what is going to go through. Are we going into a war? It's horrible. I was going to talk about that tonight, but I did not because I've already exceeded an hour and I didn't want to have anybody on here any longer, but it's kind of predicted that that's where we're headed because of the deal that we got going on now with Israel and Iran. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. Something sinister and heavy in the air, or just feels wrong, but you can't quite explain it. Something like that. That's it. That's where I'm at with it. You nailed it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Something is off. Something is off. I like how respectful you are to everyone's comment, even though some agree with them. Thank you. Grant, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the most horrible things that I've experienced with social media and even in person, it is horrible to have a discussion and you can't be open to what it is that other people have to say. We are forever learners. How can, that's so small-minded. And we have people who do that. So if I was small-minded or a touchy person and, couldn't take much, I couldn't come on here and do this. And the reason why I do this is because I know a lot of people and I have family, but it's nothing like, for me, you guys are from everywhere and it's diverse, different races, different classes. And so I enjoy this. I promise I do. Because I can look at the news and I'm looking at it alone, but I get to hear what other people are saying and I don't take offense as to what people say. We're going to have people who are going to come on and be rude sometime and negative. It's okay. I'm trying to figure out who are the parents of these YNs running around. Well, I'm not exactly certain what's going on with that. I have come for years in the leadership of what I have and what I do, and I've prayed for young adults for so long, and I still continue to. We're left baffled as to kind of what's really going on with the generation. We just have to kind of trust God with that because things are definitely out of control. End times, God is coming. Yes, he is. My blinders came off 30 years ago. This has nothing to do with legal or illegal immigrants. You don't think so? This world is not the same living, caring country that it was. And I've heard so many people say that, Eve. People are afraid, and I think it's going to get worse, and this is going to get bad. I feel it. Well, I think that that's what everybody is sensing in the atmosphere, because many people are saying that the atmosphere, and when you go outside, things just kind of feel cold and heavy, and none of us can kind of pinpoint what it is. Taking people working in fields and factories. Okay, so Tammy, those are the people that they're taking. Okay, we may not agree, but I respect you. May Odin guide and protect you. I'm assuming that you're talking about God. Black Steel Blades, I appreciate you for making that comment, and I'm gonna read it again. We may not agree, but I respect you. At the end of the day, that's all we have. At the end of the day, that's all we have is respect. And if we can't respect one another, then we can't get anything accomplished. And it's okay to disagree. Many people on here are not agreeing. Okay? And that's okay. That's the beauty of opinion. And it actually helps you to see another side of things. Joe Black, no war. We are okay. I promise it will not be a war now. The ones we have. Am I pronouncing that wrong? I'm not going to even mess that word up, y'all. Not wars at the moment. Russia and Ukraine have a war. But here's the deal. They do. But Joe Black, you don't think that they're ushering in, or it could be a possibility of another war with what has happened with Iran and Israel? You don't kind of think that? Like, that's pretty huge, right? Like, or am I overthinking it? I may be overthinking it. I thought that was pretty huge. Yes, different because we now need to put America first again for a little bit. We have not put our country first in a long time. Michael Evans, you nailed that. So basically, Michael Evans, is it okay if I just simply say America needs some self-care? Is that a way to summarize it? We take care of everybody else and look abroad and see how we can go and rescue and take care of everybody else, and we're not taking care of ourselves. So is it safe to say that America needs self-care? I miss Florida a lot. Lived in Pensacola for 35 years or more with a different area. Let's see. It's not about the immigrants. Fine, Project 25. Okay, thank you, Ann. I will. RD is Project 25, and he has laughing emojis. It's a spiritual battle taking place. Correct, RD. It is. I totally agree with you. It is a spiritual battle. God's word says there will be wars and rumors of wars, but the righteous will be delivered from them all. Lady, you're too worried about world and not U.S., your government, simple-minded. Okay, Casey. Thank you for your input. It's okay to agree to disagree. Absolutely. Iran declared war on Israel already. Jesus took care of the poor and disadvantaged. Bible speaks on these things. These are changing fast. So America also need to repent for her sins, starting with the church. Canadians have moved on. They are done with the U.S. 150 years of friendship finished. Wow. It's okay to disagree when one side says, let any and all inside your country. Self-care, mental care, homeless, poverty, crime, greed, right, all of that, all in one, all of it. And so here's the part that I'm gonna say, and I'm closing out, you guys. Here's the part that I want to say, and if anybody disagrees with me, it's okay. And I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. How many of y'all remember when we used to go to different events and do different things? No matter what took place, you always would hear God bless America. If you didn't hear God bless America, it was posted on a banner or it was displayed on the digital screen. How many of y'all remember that? How many of y'all remember that no matter what took place in America, you were going to see God bless America, or somebody would come up in leadership and give a speech, or at the onset of their speech or the close of their speech, they would say God bless America. Lady, you would not open your home, apartment, etc. to any and every stranger to come and go inside as they please. No, I wouldn't, but what's your point? What's your point, Casey? That's not wisdom, but I definitely would do within my means to make sure that they had some type of shelter if it was no more than to pay for a couple of weeks of hotel stay or a local shelter of some sort. But you're right, I wouldn't open up my home or apartment for my safety, but I still would do within my means what I could. I have few people who are responding. Leslie says, amen. Teddy says, God bless America. Corey said, yes, I remember. Casey said, I remember. So the reason why I asked that question, then I have Michael Evans, yes, God bless America everywhere. So the reason why I'm asking that and the reason why I'm saying that is because things were not so divided and so much a division when we said that. Okay, so many people don't understand when we said that we were actually blessing America. We was asking God to bless America. We didn't get on our knees and we didn't say a long prayer. We just simply said God bless America. How many people can agree that we don't do that anymore? Like our country, I'm not speaking about another country. If you live in this country, I'm talking about our country. And we don't bless our country and ask God to bless our country like we used to. And majority of the people said that they remember. So it's like, I'm not speaking from a matter of opinion now. I'm speaking from what I experience and see. We don't have that anymore. Okay. It's like that has faded away. It's rare. Okay. It's rare that we have that. The issue today is people think any form of accountability or control or structure, whether religious or social, is bad. The God of today, anarchy and I can't even get that word out. I apologize, y'all. Why did God 86 the dinosaurs? What is that? I don't understand what that is. What are you saying? What is that? My mother opened up her door to strangers who needed help. I think in generations in the past, people were able to do those type things, but we have to be more careful now. April airline bookings to the United States from Canada are down. Wow. But illegal aliens not allowed. We deserve to know who living around our families and to know everyone got identity if they commit crimes against any American. We can all agree on that. We want to feel safe. Okay, he means kill the dinosaurs. Thank you, Saul. Appreciate it. You see what I mean? I'm not here trying to know it all and just know all of this, but I'm learning, okay? I'm learning. People and their phones don't even ask anymore. Just being nice could save a life. America has taken God Almighty out of society, schools, and etc. And so I'm closing and about to head out. I pray that made sense what I asked. And what I was just simply asking was, is it rare now that we see the display of God Bless America? Is it rare now that leaders come up and speak and talk and none of them say God Bless America? I can remember, I'm not disclosing my age, but I can remember as a child, as I participated in sports and activities and did different things, like that's all you would hear, God Bless America. It was like a known statement to make, but we don't hear it as much, okay? And so that's a problem. And the reason why it's a problem is because we need God to bless America. Just think about it. God bless America. We need him to bless America. You have to pray even if you don't believe in God. It was all about respect. Correct. And so, Jock, you made that statement, and I appreciate you making that statement. So it's like, do you agree or disagree? And it's no right or wrong that we've lost the respect. And that's kind of why we don't say God bless America. I know about them taking prayer out of the school, but it's like, why don't we believe in that anymore? Why aren't we leaning toward that? Can we all agree when we did that and said that we were a better nation? We were better off. We were more respected. I told you, Dallas, I also got friends in Fort Hood. I also know several Marine. Can report your BS to the military because the really unacceptable behavior from vets. I'm not sure what that's about. I may have missed something in the comments. There was no prayer taken out of school. That's another false narrative. Okay, it wasn't. And the reason why I'm asking if it wasn't, because I raised my children and they played sports and I played sports, and I remember the announcer saying a prayer. He said a prayer. But I remembered as my children played sports, they announced and said that they could no longer say a prayer and that we just had to just have a moment of silence. And so we would bow our head because they could not pray because we were on the school premises. So maybe I missed something. Again, Daniel, I have reiterated pretty often that I don't know everything, so maybe I missed something. I'm simply going by my experience while in school and with my children. You can go to a Catholic or Christian school, can't you? So what you're saying is that Catholic or Christian schools, they're still praying. So let me correct myself, Ariel. Maybe a better way of saying it would be a public school system. So a Christian school, a Catholic school, they do pray. So let me say public school system. So I stand corrected. Wrong verbiage. The correct verbiage is public school system. The prayers were taken out. Brimtime said, I voted for this. I said pledge allegiance every day in school, but I love America and they teach us different now. I appreciate everybody for coming to share your thoughts, because here's what you guys did for me, and I'm going to just be completely honest. I am chilling and relaxing for the night. And I wanted some feedback on this particular video that I played. And so you guys have provided a wealth of information. I like to think outside of the box and hear what other people are thinking. And so this was great for me. I really appreciate it. And I want to put something on the mind of everybody who's here. It's not anything that I'm telling you to do, but I just want to put it on your mind. Would it hurt or would it be too difficult if we kind of just got back to saying God bless America? Like, we need God to bless America with all of the division and all of the things that's going on. We need him to do that. It does not matter how much of money you make. It does not matter how much of money you don't have. Regardless as to your situation where you are in life here in America, it is pretty obvious that we are changing swiftly. Some people think that it's good. Some people think that it's bad. Regardless as to where you stand on it and where you are in it, we need God to bless America if this is your home. Okay? So even if we did not agree on anything else, I pray that we can all agree on that. All right. So we went back and forth and said a lot of great things, and we didn't all agree on everything. But I'm hoping that the close of this, we can all agree that we need God to bless America. How many people do I have as we're closing out that can agree with me that we need God to bless America? How many people can agree with me on that? How many people? I don't have anybody. God bless America. We need him. He said, yes, agree. Agreed. Price said no, leave God out of it. Okay. Okay. Who else? Perez says, I agree. Conduct. He is. Eve, yes. The world doesn't respect us now. Well, the world doesn't. Eve said, I agree. So I appreciate everybody. Styles says, I agree. Sharon Johnson says, yes, I agree. I'll make it easy. Black Steel Blaze, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm thinking that you're talking to somebody else and not answering my question right now. Yes, I agree. Teddy Owen says, I agree. God has blessed America. God need Americans to repent and change their hearts. Absolutely, Charles. You nailed it. You nailed it. Eve says, I agree. We have separation of church and state, Tammy says. Okay. We have a lot going on. We do. I always want the best for every good heart American, but I don't have a religion. Real McCoy, I don't have a religion either. So I don't have a denomination. I just simply love the Lord. So I'm not Catholic. I'm not Baptist. I'm non-denomination. I don't claim a denomination. I just simply claim that I love the Lord. Okay. I love his people and I work for him and serve him. So I don't claim a religion either. So I hope that you wasn't perceiving me to be claiming a religion. I don't claim a religion either. I don't believe in all of that, but tied to traditions of doing things, okay? Casey is threatening me and wants to track me down, so I gave him everything he needs. Okay, Black Steel Blades, I don't know what you and Casey have going on, but the whole purpose of the video was just to come on and share. I appreciate everybody who subscribed. I have people who like the video because I can see who like the video. So if you haven't liked the video, like the video for me. If you did not subscribe, I promise subscribing is not going to hurt anybody. I appreciate you if you have already subscribed. If you did not, please subscribe and like for me. Okay? And so I pray that Casey and Black Steel is blessed and understand that this is just simply to come back and share our thoughts of what's going on in our homeland, and it's nothing more. We can get along and have difference of opinions and agree and move forward, okay? I pray that the Lord blesses both of you and anybody else who had any conflict. Thank you. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but PEMIS, you said you subscribed. I appreciate you for subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to say good night. I'm blessed. Thank you, host. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it. I really do. And so again, if nothing was accomplished tonight, Eve said, bless you, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you, Eve. If nothing else was accomplished tonight, remember, we got to start asking God to bless America and to have mercy upon our country. We need him. It's not a want. We need him. Do you guys know that this protest is going to spread everywhere? It's going to get bad. We can deploy troops. We can put in all of these rules and regulations, but we need God to bless America. In a nutshell, we need him, okay? I'm going to say good night until next time. Thanks. I'll let you know if I get time to come visit you. Casey and Black Steel, I sincerely mean that I pray that the Lord will bless you guys and that we were not here for that. We were here to have conversation about what's going on in the world. So you guys be blessed, and remember to say God bless America, okay? You guys have a good night until next time.